The biggest private owners of gold in the world, a small niche in an investment market filled with governments and a plethora of smaller investors. From large banks whose every maneuver makes the spot price and families in the East that have inherited vast quantities of gold. And then there are the private collectors and investors who collectively own a huge sum of precious metals. Here is a rundown of some of the biggest individual owners of gold in the world. Note that this list does not include gold bullion purchased by central banks or governments across the world. John Paulson. John Paulson is an American hedge fund manager and billionaire famous for having one of the biggest privately owned gold reserves in the world. He's also well known for predicting the 2007 mortgage financial crisis and has made headlines for his mammoth-sized gold holdings through his firm, Paulson and Company. As the central banks start to buy more gold in response to the devaluation of fiat currencies, Paulson has been a vocal advocate for investing in physical gold bullion. Paulson, famed American investor, has made billions for himself and his clients over the years. When gold went on its strong run, from 2011 to 2013, Paulson raked in $5 billion. Why? Because he bought tons of gold when it was cheap. Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is another of the most famous gold buyers and owns one of the largest private gold reserves in the world. He's the founder and co-chief investment officer of Bridgewater Associates, which manages a staggering $150 billion in assets. In the second quarter of 2020, Bridgewater Associates invested $400 million in gold holdings alone, including exchange-traded funds with the SPDR Gold Trust and the iShares Gold Trust. Indian families. Indian households have some of the largest gold reserves in the world. Most of these are in the form of gold jewelry, which is primarily for weddings and Diwali festivals. Indian families, not including what the banking system owns, have roughly 25,000 to 27,000 tons of gold. The most interesting fact is that a significant portion of these gold reserves is not just held by the rich, but rather throughout the caste system. Stanley Druckenmiller. Stanley Druckenmiller is a legend in the investing world. Much like John Paulson, he predicted in 2005 that the Federal Reserve Bank would trigger a housing crisis and economic collapse. In 2015, he had over $292 million in exposure to the SPDR Gold Trust. Eric Sprott. Another of the world's biggest investors in gold is Eric Sprott. He's a Canadian who has invested huge amounts of money in precious metals, including gold mining and exploration companies like Labrador Gold, Benchmark Metals, Ethos Gold, and New Age Metals. Sprott is a well-respected Canadian businessman and billionaire who has put huge sums of his wealth into gold. Basically, he's the Canadian version of John Paulson. The royal family of Saudi Arabia. The royal family of Saudi Arabia is well known for being unimaginably wealthy and having some of the largest gold reserves in the world. They're lavish spenders with a reported net worth of approximately $1.4 trillion. These oil-rich families had vaults of gold, now in the hundreds of tons, well before they began making deals with the West. One can only imagine how much gold they have accrued since the 1920s. Some of the most notable advocates for the gold IRA. Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is a successful advocate of the precious metals industry and gold IRAs, individual retirement accounts. He founded Schiff Gold and still serves as honorary chairman since he sold the company in 2016 to Gold Money. He considers precious metals, like gold IRAs, safe haven investments to hedge against inflation and the rapid weakening of our country's currency. James Rickards. James Rickards is another advocate for investing in gold and precious metal IRAs. He is an investor, advisor, and lawyer who frequently lectures on why Americans should buy gold and allocate about 10% of their wealth portfolio to precious metal investments. Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is an American investor and the founder of the Rich Dad Company. He has long been a proponent of investing in physical gold and gold IRAs. He's a financial advisor and aims to help people achieve true financial independence through wise investing. From Global Bullion's research, there are a very wide variety of gold buyers. Some of the biggest private gold owners in the world tend not to advertise. So, there you have it, Goldopedia Explorers. From Wall Street moguls to the Saudi royal family, gold is not just a metal, it's a lifestyle. Whether you're predicting financial crises or just want a bedazzled wardrobe, gold has got you covered. If you enjoyed this glittering journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep shining bright like gold.